Welcome to Where You Live on Shaw TV. Today we are here at Norwester View School to talk about a new way of learning, and the kids here have really taken to it and are very excited about it. I'm here with Sherry-Lynn Farron. She is the Superintendent of Education with Lakehead Public Schools. Sherry-Lynn, tell me about this great new way of learning.
Well, we're very excited about it too. It's called Academies of Learning, and it's really based on the concept of community-connected experiential learning. So it really involves bringing the community into schools, having students have the opportunity to learn in a hands-on way, as opposed to the more traditional way of through books and pencils and papers. So if they're talking about STEM activities, for example, they may be building robots and working with the robots, or under global citizenship, they may be doing community supports like fixing bikes and sending them where they're needed in order to help people with daily living. And so it's really about bringing the community in and getting the kids out in the community and hands-on learning, so it applies what they're learning in the classroom to real-life experience.
So when it comes to the curriculum that kids are supposed to take from grades 1 to 8 and so on, is the curriculum just worked into this type of learning?
Absolutely. It's still the same Ontario curriculum, grade 1 to 8. It's just a different way of delivering that same curriculum. So it's the same content that students have always learned about, but in a real-life, hands-on application.
And I would think for younger children it would be a great way to engage them because it makes it more fun.
We have heard from children and families across our system where we're offering these programs that they can't wait to come to school, that the experiments are exciting, that it's really engaging them in thinking and learning and doing things in a different way.
And what more do you want than to have your kids be excited to go to school? Now, Norwester View isn't the only school that is taking part in the Learning Academies. What other schools in the city are doing this?
We have Learning Academies at 5 Mile Public School, Westmount, Kingsway Park, Valley Central, and Norwester View.
Wow. Now, how did this program come about? Where did it start?
Well, we did a survey about 4 years ago now of our grade 7 and 8 students, families, and their teachers, because we really wanted to make sure that kids were engaged in their learning, and we asked them, what's important to you? They talked about having choice in what they're learning. They talked about having more control over their learning. They talked about the interest in hands-on learning. So from all of those surveys that told us what's important to kids and their families and to teachers about engaging students, the concept of the Academies for Learning was born from that.
Now, is this all across Ontario?
No, this is, there are some other boards that are working with it as well. There's a ministry document called Community Connected Experiential Learning that really is the foundation behind it. But this is something that we as Lakehead Public Schools decided to pilot.
Wow, that's exciting. Yeah. Now, you've been involved from the beginning. What do you love about it?
I love how excited kids and families are. I love that attendance has improved, that kids are engaged in their learning. I also love that teachers are saying to me that it's very exciting for them as well, because which academies are offered in which schools are really dependent on the passions and the strengths of the teachers as well. So they really get to bring their gifts and talents to the table and share those with kids as well. So it's really building on not only the strengths of the students, but also the strengths of the staff in the school.
Great. Well, Sherry-Lynn, thank you so much for telling us all about this. It's so exciting.
It is very exciting, and we're so glad to share our learning. Thank you.
Keep watching. There's more coming up on Where You Live. We're actually going to go in and talk to a few of the teachers and a few students about what they love about this type of learning. Welcome back to Where You Live on Shaw TV. We are in one of the classrooms of the Learning Academies. I'm here with Joe. He is a teacher here at Norwester View, and you teach the STEM program. Can you explain to me what that is?
So it's science, technology, engineering, and math. So what we try to do is teach through learning hands-on. So we are in the process of getting tons of robots and other learning things that we do hands-on in the school. So we've already done a cardboard boat race, we did a wax museum, and we're trying to learn and teach these guys how to learn hands-on all the time.
Do you find it easy to mix the Ontario curriculum with this type of learning?
We're learning too. It's new, so it's trying to balance the history, the geography, and the science and the math all together, and the language. But everything seems to be based on the STEM program, so most of the stuff is science-based.
Right. And what have you noticed in difference in the kids? Have you noticed the way that?
Well, as you can see with Braden, he has one of our Spiros right here, and we will be starting to use those in math. We can talk about angles. We can have them do certain things. We do coding with them as well, so they can code them with the computers. So Braden likes to play with this kind of stuff. He's got his iPad, and he can put it down on the floor here and kind of show you how it works. This is an entry-level robot. And from this, they're going to go into larger robots, which are Lego robotics. So they will code these, basically tell them where to go and how to do things, either quick, slow, or turn. Then we'll do that with Lego robotics. So what the plan is with this program is to make these guys experts in grade 7, 8, and take them down to the primary kids, the JKs, the grade 1s, 2s, and 3s. So these would be for grade 1 to 3 eventually, and the Lego robotics would be 4 to 8.
Wow. What do you love about teaching this way?
Well, it's much more fun, and it's much more hands-on, and it's realistic. So we're getting into, later on in the year, we're going to bring in some motors, small motors and engines, and we're going to have the kids actually pull those apart too and put them back together again. So it's all hands-on learning, and it's a more efficient way and probably a more realistic way in some ways to learn. Lots of kids are not going to the college route, which is kind of sad. We're going to be lacking apprenticeships. We're going to be lacking skilled labor people. So this is a way to get those people interested in going to college and going to school.
Right. Okay, well, Braden, you've been doing this year. What do you love about it?
Some of the things I like about this is the robots and stuff, and the field trips that we've done are pretty cool. Like, we've been to the hospital and we've learned how to do stitches and CPR.
Wow.
And there's lots of robotics there. There's lots of really high-tech dummies, and pretty cool.
Do you find you're more excited to come to school?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. I'd be excited to come to school if I could learn this stuff. Thank you both so much for explaining it to me. Keep watching. There's more coming up on Where You Live on Shaw TV. Welcome back to Where You Live on Shaw TV. We are here at Norwester View School talking about the Learning Academies, and one of those Learning Academies is Global Citizenship. I'm here with Christy Lees, a teacher here. Christy, can you explain to me what is Global Citizenship?
So Global Citizenship is a program where the students are working on how they can make a difference in their communities, both locally, in our country, and across the world.
Now, what are some of the activities, or what are some of the things that you're teaching in Global Citizenship?
Basically how to be a good ambassador, and how to make a difference and inspire them in either a small capacity or to be involved in something bigger. Yeah.
So what's an example of what some of the things that you're doing here?
Last week, actually, we were at the shelter house working in the soup kitchen. We have taken photography courses. We have done a fundraiser for the International Red Cross to help support the hurricane relief. And right now we are working on creating a skating party for Sherbrooke Elementary School.
Do you find it's easy or hard to incorporate the Ontario curriculum into your, I guess, classroom? What do you find?
I find it in some aspects it's pretty easy because you can get across lots of the curriculum into some subjects, but then it's also quite rewarding because the kids are really engaged and they're really excited to be a part of the projects that you create, which is, I think, the positive part of this. Yeah.
Now, this has only been in Norwester View for a year?
Only since September.
Okay, so since September, did you notice a difference in the kids?
Well, we have incredible kids here at Norwester View, but I think if anything, I've noticed that they're definitely more excited to come to school every day. They don't want to be away. We have a lot of fun planning our ideas and trying just to make a difference and be good ambassadors. Yeah.
Perfect. Now, that's a great segue to you. Brooke, what do you love about it?
I love that we have to get to do all these different experiences and that we get to have lots of fun, and it's more of a different experience in learning.
Do you like coming to school now?
Yes, I do.
That's perfect. That's, I think, the most important thing is getting kids to like coming to school. Well, thank you both for explaining it to me.
Thank you.
Keep watching. There's more coming up on Where You Live on Shaw TV at Norwester View Public School. Welcome back to Where You Live on Shaw TV. We're here at Norwester View School talking about the different learning academies that they have here, and one of them is sports and outdoor recreation. Scott Gordon is the teacher, and Elliot is one of his students. Scott, first of all, can you explain to me a little bit about the academy, sports and outdoor recreation?
Sure. The Sports and Outdoor Rec gives our students an opportunity to explore some learning spaces outside of the classroom. We get to go out in our natural environment around the school and check things out. We go on interpretive hikes. We do some tree and outdoor plant identification. And we're involved in sports within our community. We've convened and officiated a number of different events this year for our Lakehead Public School Board. And we just try to get involved with as much stuff as we can.
Do you find the kids are a little more engaged?
Well, you could ask them that question. I'm sure that they'd be willing to answer. I think that all students really enjoy getting out of the classroom every once in a while, and this certainly, yeah, exactly. This certainly gives us an opportunity to get out and do things that we wouldn't really always have access to.
What are they working on right now? I see there's some leaves and stuff on the tables behind us.
So you can see here we've got our plant presses and some samples of some plants that we've collected out in our hikes, and the students took the presses and they were in for a couple weeks, and what you see here is some of the finished products of after the plants have been pressed. They've been glued to their sample sheets, and the students are in the process of actually working on their labels now to identify who collected the samples, where they collected them from, and what species these samples belong to.
Okay, now this program's only been going since September. What have you noticed? Have you noticed a change in the students? What do you love about it?
In terms of a change in the students, you just get to see them in a different light when you're outside, not in a regular classroom. So they have more of an opportunity to really display some of their other attributes that they would normally have that they can't show in a classroom. Their inquisitiveness, they're asking questions in a non-traditional classroom, and they get to burn off a lot of energy too. So which is really important for this class.
So what do you love about it? What do you love about teaching this way?
I love that we're just not stuck behind the desk. We're getting out and we're doing things that we haven't done before. I'm learning as much as they are. We're trying to establish our community partnerships and grabbing different experts and bringing them into the classroom and having them meet with us. And so I get to learn just as much as they do on a regular day.
Yeah. So Elliot, what are some of the things that you love about this type of learning?
Well, I love getting out and just exploring the outdoors in nature, and it's fun because I enjoy lots of sports, and it's really fun.
That's perfect. What more can you ask for? Fun at school. Yeah. Thank you both for explaining it to me. Keep watching. There's more coming up on Shaw TV. Welcome back to Where You Live on Shaw TV. We are here at Norwester View School talking about a new way to learn with Learning Academies. Now I'm here with Nancy. She is a parent of her daughter who's going through the Learning Academy. Have you noticed a big difference?
Yes, I think she's more excited to learn. They've been able to go out in the community, which is fantastic, and be able to see, really apply what they're learning instead and see different ways that maybe education would take them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, you have other children that went through Norwester View School, but they didn't do the Learning Academies. What's the difference between your kids and the way they learned?
I think just the same as far as being able to apply, to be able to I really think in a way this is what education should be. It should be able to teach it in the classroom and then be able to go in the community and kind of pair those two things together.
Yeah, it seems exciting to me that this is a great way to get students more engaged in school, because you always hear about kids not wanting to go to school or that they're bored with school, and this seems to be a great way to keep them engaged.
Yes, and actually I did have, all of my children did go through periods of time when school wasn't really, they didn't want to be here.
Right.
And I found with Maya, who is in grade 8 this year, it has been more engaging. She wants to come there because they're learning how to recycle bikes. They've been to the hospital. They've done the boat races. Yeah.
So life experiences, really.
Yep. Yes.
Perfect.
Yep. And exposure to different careers. Mm-hmm. Yep. And how to apply the math and how to apply the engineering. And I think it just makes more sense. When I went through school, it was always like, why am I learning that in math? Whenever I'm going to use that? And I think it makes more sense for them this way. Yeah.
Well, Nancy, thank you so much for talking with us.
Okay.
Keep watching. There's more coming up on Where You Live on Shaw TV. Welcome back to Where You Live on Shaw TV. We are at Norwester View School talking about the different learning academies and how excited the kids are here to be learning and going to school. I'm here with the principal, Pauline. How great is it that this program has made kids more excited to go to school?
It's been a wonderful experience. It's taken learning to a whole new level for our grade 7 and 8 students. The engagement of student in their learning and hands-on learning, inquiry-based, also the community building that it's done for our school has been incredible.
Well, I can't believe some of the things the kids have done, like going out photography and search and rescue and just being outside. I think that makes a huge difference.
It makes a big difference because they have a say in what they're learning. And not only that, it engages them in real life experiences. And it also gives them an opportunity to start thinking about a pathway for future education.
I know every one of the teachers that we spoke to today, the big thing they said was that the kids are more invested because they get to choose which academy they're in, whether it's STEM or the global citizenship or the outdoor sports or outdoor rec and sports. Like every teacher said that.
Yeah, it's built an incredible curiosity about learning, and not only learning in the classroom, but beyond the classroom. And also it has built empathy within our students as well, because they have experienced different things in the community and has seen different aspects of learning. And so for them, it has been super beneficial because it has addressed their style of learning. So it has addressed kids that are very kinesthetic, kids that are very visual, hands-on. And so for them, it has addressed the learning needs of our students and has been incredibly wonderful for them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, as the principal, you would see all of the changes and all the enthusiasm and all the engagement that the kids are showing. It must be fantastic.
It's beyond fantastic, because it's actually our culture at the school has changed because the younger students are seeing all of this happen. So they're getting excited about learning as they get older. And we've had opportunities to have the older students be with the younger students and teaching them about robotics, coding, those types of things. And so for us, it's all encompassing because we want our school to be a community, but also go beyond the community as well.
Well, Pauline, thank you so much for having us here today. I've learned a lot. It kind of made me wish I could go back to school and learn this way.
Well, thank you for coming. We're really proud of what our students are doing, but also super proud of our educators as well. They work really hard at making this happen for our students, and hopefully it'll benefit our students in the future and their learning.
Okay, well, thank you again. And everyone, we hope we've introduced you to this great new way of learning here at Norwester View School. We'll see you next time on Where You Live.